Why, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Truly Odd Podcast, where we bring you the latest in game news and movie news. I'm your host, Joe Garcia. So grab your controllers, get your popcorn, and let's go ahead and dive right on into the topics, shall we? Now, before I get started, I do want to mention I am getting a little sick. I just returned from Comic Con, so I'm getting a bit of the nerd flu. So forgive me if I'm drinking water and clearing my throat throughout this episode. So I'll try to get through it as fast as possible or as smoothly as possible. But let's start off with our game news topics of the day, shall we? We have about 27 minutes of gameplay for a game called Beneath, and it kind of gives me fear vibes. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of this gameplay, shall we? So again, YouTube, bit of a bitch, so we'll see what happens with the volume and stuff. I'm gonna be skipping ahead so we don't have to watch the full 27 minutes, but I kind of want to just give you guys an idea of what this game's about. So let's go ahead and take a look, shall we?
Spread rapidly. We had no time, no chance to find another solution. So we carried out what the protocol dictates. We closed the doors and locked everyone inside. It was the only way. There was no other choice. I'll keep repeating it until I start to believe it. God, the sounds, their faces.
Now, I don't know if you guys ever played Fear, but this really gives me that feel because it's similar gameplay. You know, you're walking around and exploring this laboratory or this environment, and you hear weird sounds. There's creepy music playing, and even the gunplay seems to be the same. I don't believe in Fear you were able to aim down, sights and look at your actual iron sights or or your actual reticles. Here it's the same. You only kind of aim with these cross sections right here, the little white cross sections that you see in the game. Let's go ahead and fast forward to where things are actually happening. Yeah, as you can see, you see how he zoomed in. That's basically your aim, so you don't really aim down sights in this game. And yeah, it really does give me Fear vibes. Now, my only problem with this game is it doesn't look very exciting like Fear was. It does have that creepy factor and the similar feel, but it just, I don't know. There's something off about it. I don't know what exactly it is, but you called this like a Fear sequel game or something like that, I'd believe you. But and I really don't like the gunplay. I feel like we've evolved past not aiming down sights in video games, but maybe they have it for a reason. This does seem to be more of a lower budget type of game. I don't think this is AAA or anything like that, but it does look very interesting. Oh, forgive me if you hear background noise. I have company, guys, so I gotta find a way to soundproof this room, but that's gonna take some time, so we'll figure that out later. But yeah, it's just an exploratory game. You know, the fear vibes. If you like horror games, horror shooters, kind of seems to be what this is exactly. Nothing super big about it, but I just thought it was a bit interesting, especially because when I watched it, it gave me that fear vibes. And have you guys played the game Fear? If you haven't, I highly recommend you find a way to, whether it's Steam or something, going to check that out. Uh, Forgive me for the background noise again, guys. Excuse me again. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Moving on to our next game news topic of the day. It looks like we finally got the reveal of our August games coming to us for PlayStation Plus. There seems to be a lot of Sony topics today, so forgive me for that, but that's basically what the news cycle is right now. And the three games that we're going to be getting for PlayStation Plus are as follows: Life of P, DayZ, and My Hero One's Justice 2. I haven't had the pleasure of playing the My Hero game, so this will be my first experience. I've heard great things of Life of P, so I'm excited to check that out. It is a Souls-like game, so if you enjoy games like that, this might be a game you want to check out. I know that other games have been released right now with Souls-like, so this will probably be the one I end up checking out. I was actually going to purchase it, but I ended up skipping it for some reason. I don't know why, but hey, here's an excuse to play it. And DayZ, I've heard mixed things about it. I've never actually played it. Uh, I'm gonna probably check it out just to see what it's all about. I know it's a PS4 game, but still, I who knows? It might be a lot of fun. I've never played it for myself, but so we're gonna have to wait and see when that gets released. On what days exactly? It's gonna be on August 5th. These will all be playable. So if you guys are excited on checking out any of these games, that's will be the day you want to check out PlayStation Plus. And yeah, actually, if you guys don't mind, tell me if you've played DayZ and if it's even worth trying or not. And what game out of these three are you most excited to check out? Moving on to our next topic of the day, it looks like we have a trailer for the Sony fighting stick, which is going to be called the Flex Strike. So let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer. Uh, Hopefully, they'll allow me to play sound on YouTube, but we'll see what happens. Probably not. It probably won't let me play that music, but I think it's so cool that we're finally getting a fighting stick. I think it's been quite some time since we last had one, so this is going to be very interesting, especially one coming from Sony. So it's probably even better developed, and it just looks beautiful. And I love that they're advertising it with that Marvel fighting game from the team that made Dragon Ball Fighter Z. And I'm curious what other games you'd be able to use the fighting stick on. Like, I'd be curious if I can use it on maybe like Sparking, not Sparking, right game. Anyways, Dragon Ball Z Sparking Budokai, whatever the hell it's called, the most recent one. That one, I would be curious if it works well on that one, or if there's other games I can use it on. I'm sure you could use it on many, but I'm wondering how good it would be to use. Because with it just being the one hit stick, you can't really do certain games like the Dragon Ball one I'm talking about, because it's not a side scroller. You have to actually pan the camera left and right. It has its own docking station for its parts. That's really cool. Oh, they're allowing you to use it on PC, or is that kind of looks like an Xbox, but new headphones, which I'm probably gonna have to buy because mine are broken. Oh, that case is nice. I didn't even see this part of the game, or this part of the trailer. And I think it's great that they're advertising it with Tokon fighting souls for Marvel. I think that's very smart of them to do, and I think that's the best way for them to go about that. Now, I don't think they have a release date for this as of yet. I'm gonna go ahead and click around here, see if I get a release date. But even if we don't have a release date, I think things are looking phenomenal for this hit stick. Let me know if you guys are interested in the comments down below, if you'll be purchasing this, and what games are you looking to fight? Are you looking to use for this fighting game? Oh, check this out. All right, perfect. So it looks like on the Sony website, it kind of has a list of fighting games you might be able to use this on. Here's some of the advertisements, some of the details if you guys are interested. I have a link to the trailer in the description down below. I'll probably add this link as well, so you guys could take a look at this. And here's some of the games that it's going to be supporting. It does look like it's going to be Sparking Zero. It's going to be a lot of fun to check this out. I'll probably use it like on a platformer type game too, just to check it out. But I just want to experiment with the fighting stick to check out how it's going to work on some of the games. Let me go ahead and save this link here for you guys so we have it in the description down below. There we go. I got it nice and saved. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Are you excited for this Flex Strike fighting stick? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Moving on to our next news, gaming news topic of the day. It looks like Sony is going to be suing Tencent for one of their games being released. It's called Light of Motiram. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but Light of Motiram, and Light of Motiram seems to be an exact clone or ripoff of one of Sony's IP with Horizon Zero Dawn or Forbidden West. As you can see here, this is their poster. I kind of have it here in the opening if you want to take a look at this right here in the middle. Excuse me, guys. But yeah, if you could see, I kind of thought this was a Horizon poster initially, or like a fan rendition of it when I saw it initially, and then I found out that it's actually a game being released. So very similar things going on, and even this little gameplay thing. Forgive me, guys. I think it's gonna be loud for a second. So hold on, let me mute something here so I don't blow out your guys' ears. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of this gameplay here once this ad is done. But yeah, they're suing them for infringing on their IP, which is typical for anyone trying to copy anyone's game. And you know, normally I think lawsuits are kind of dumb because people are just trying to make money off things. But here, I'm kind of in agreement with Sony because this looks just like Horizon. Uh, might have to mute this because of the music and stuff like that. But forgive me, guys. We're gonna go ahead and skip ahead on this trailer so you guys could see actual gameplay of the game. If they show it, is more cinematic. So yeah, everything here looks like it would be for a Horizon sequel following Forbidden West. Like, look at that shot. That if you showed me that out of context, I would say it's a Horizon game. And I'm sure many of you would probably think the same thing. And I'm very surprised that this game got this far into development without anyone saying anything. Now, maybe there's going to be a lot of differences, uh, more differences than I don't know how they're going to be able to pull this off in a lawsuit, but maybe there's enough differences in the game for them to say, hey, it's a different kind of thing. You know, even though visually, I mean, look at this. It looks like you're fighting in Horizon. It's crazy. But maybe there's enough there for them to, you know, win the lawsuit. But I think Sony has a big win on their hands so far with this. So they might have to pay out or give some of the back end once this game is released because it does seem to be that this game is very far along in development. Let's see if we have an actual release date. So you guys go ahead and check out some of this footage while I look up a release date. Hopefully there's no music playing. So this doesn't seem to have an exact release date, but it is slated for 2025. So with this lawsuit, that might get pushed most likely to 2026 most likely. So we'll have to see what ends up happening with this lawsuit. But this is kind of wild to me that a lawsuit and an IP infringement like this is kind of very, you know, very obvious, I guess you can say. So we'll see what ends up happening with this game. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think it is a copyright infringement? Do you think that Sony's overthinking? Do you think I'm overthinking? Because I'm in agreement with Sony at the moment. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think they're infringing on their IP, or do you think they're overreacting? Moving on to our last topic of the day, or last game topic of the day. Sorry about that. It looks like Xbox is rolling out age verification in the UK. Now, this is because UK is having some laws that require age restrictions for certain social media platforms or social platforms. So Xbox is already rolling that out so they can appeal to that law and things of that sort. Now, if you want all the details, go ahead and write it in the description down below, or read the article in the description down below. But for me, I just basically wanted to focus on, you know, while yes, this is going to be happening in the UK, rolling outs in the US may be happening eventually, depending on what's going on. Now, this is going to be leading into kind of a weird territory for Xbox, and the reason I believe this is because with their new console going to be released probably within the next 2 or 3 years, it's going to be more of a PC type of thing. You're going to be able to have Steam on it. This is all the rumor, but I'm pretty sure it's going to have this stuff. So it's going to be more Xbox Game Pass, Steam, and things of that sort. So with that being said, having restrictions like this kind of make sense because moving forward into their platform, it's better that they integrate it now so that I don't have to worry about it later. And I think this will probably be something that eventually does roll out into the US, you know, verifying that you're an adult, verifying that you're the owner of the console and things like that. So kids don't get into certain things. And of course, Steam has age restrictions on certain games, so younger kids can't buy things. So I think with this is going to help them integrate with Steam a lot more, knowing who is running the console and what they can and cannot buy. Even though kind of Steam's purchasing side of that handles that, I think it's good for Xbox to have their own safety measures in that case. As far as I don't think this really infringes on anyone's like you know life or anything like that. As far as UK, I don't know what the UK is concerning. US, I know a lot more people were kind of pissed off when it comes to things like this and that sort. So I'm sure this will be a more of a easier thing to deal with in the US than it is in the UK. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think this is a bad idea for them to introduce a way for to verify your age and verification for the Xbox in the UK? And are you hoping this does not make it to the US? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And that does it for our game news topics of the day, guys. We're going to get ahead and move on to our movie news topics of the day. And our first movie news topic of the day is a trailer for a movie called Eternity, which I found to be pretty interesting. Now, of course, YouTube's a bitch, so I can't play this whole thing. So I'm going to give you guys the concept or not the concept, the breakdown of what this trailer is as we watch it here. It'll probably be banned when I do this, but of course it stars Miles Teller. What's Scarlet Witch's name? Oh my god, I know her name. She's related to the twins. It's gonna piss me off. I gotta Google it. Excuse me, guys. Pause this real quick. Forgive me, guys. I'm trying to get the names of the actors, and for some reason, it is not popping up. Elizabeth Olsen, Miles Teller, Colin Turner are the main actors in this movie. And I'm going to stop playing the trailer right here because, again, YouTube's a bit of a bitch. But if you guys want to check out the trailer, it'll be in the description down below. One moment, guys. Got to clear my throat. Didn't want to blow out you guys' eardrum there, so my apologies. But the concept is Miles Teller character dies, and he ends up in, I guess, a purgatory where he has to find out where he wants to spend eternity. He runs into his wife there, who I guess died months later in the hospital. And then, as they're finding out where they want to spend eternity or who they want to spend eternity with, she runs into her old husband who died in the war. And now she has to decide between the two of them who she's going to spend eternity with, and hilariosity drama ensues. Now, I do think this is a very interesting concept for a movie. You know, who does she choose? The first man she fell in love with, or the man she fell in love with afterwards? So a lot of drama could happen there. Now, my only worry is this does seem like a funny little rom com ish, dramish thing. My only concern is A24 is doing this movie, if I'm not mistaken, and they recently had a movie with Pedro Pascal, Chris Evans, and the girl from the girl from 50 Shades of Grey. And that movie, while it did seem like it was going to be a bit of a rom com, it ended up being very boring and dull. And I watched that in the theaters, and I felt like it was just a blah movie. And that's my concern with this one at the moment, because while the trailers show that it could be fun and exciting and and romantic and things like that, because I'm a big fan of rom coms. I don't know why. I'm a sucker for love. What can I say? But my worry is that this is going to be more focused on the crazy drama aspect of it, because they're going to show all the fun, cute stuff in the trailer, kind of how they did with the previous movie with Pedro Pascal, which is, I think, The Materialists, if I'm not mistaken. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Did you like this trailer? Are you interested in checking this movie out like I am? Let me know what you guys think. Excuse me again. Moving on to our next topic of the day. It looks like Meet the Parents 4 finally gets a title and a release date. With Meet the Parents 4, we had Meet the Parents for the first movie, we had Meet the Fockers for the second movie, we had Little Fockers for the third movie, and now we are getting Focker in Laws. So very interesting title sequence. We of course got Ariana Grande joining the film, and it's going to be set to release on Thanksgiving 2026, which is going to be November 25th, 2026. Of course, we got Ben Stiller returning, um, Robert De Niro returning, introducing Ariana Grande. There was also rumors of Jimmy Olsen from the Superman movie joining the cast. No, I don't think that's been verified or anything. And they also released a nice little thing on Instagram here, introducing some of the characters and things like that. Who's going to be returning? So, uh, Owen Wilson's returning, of course, which I think he's a great character in the movie, especially with the jealousy that Ben Stiller had from him. So I love that he's returning to the cast. So yeah, a cool little highlight that they released for fans of the movie. Anyone looking forward to it, and if you haven't seen Meet the Fockers or Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers, and Little Fockers, I highly recommend you guys check out some of those movies because they're a lot of fun. Now, Little Fockers wasn't as good as Meet the Parents and Meet the Fockers in my opinion, but it's still a good franchise, and I hope to see this movie be as hilarious as the first two original ones. But let me know what you guys think. Are you excited for this film? Moving on to our next topic of the day. Looks like Julia Gardner. If you don't know who Julia Gardner is, she just recently played the Silver Surfer in Fantastic Four First Steps. But she was just recently speaking out about a biopic for Madonna that she auditioned for and was talking about the audition process. Now, I've kind of been out of the news cycle for the. I've only been doing this for like 2 months, 3 months, and I've kind of been missing a lot of the news cycles prior to that, so I didn't even know there was going to be a Madonna pick, a Madonna biopic movie. So I think this is very interesting, and I think this is great casting. She does, to me, look a bit like a young Madonna, and apparently a lot of this audition process caused a lot of dancing and making sure she could dance and move like Madonna did, and Madonna is very she's very eccentric, I guess you can say is the word. But I do think it's a great idea for a biopic of Madonna. But the more interesting thing for me is that when someone makes a biopic about themselves or is involved in their own biopic, there's going to be a lot of bias, a lot of things that maybe they don't want to talk about that's been in their career. Like Madonna's very known for being very promiscuous. So the question is she going to lean into that aspect of herself when making this movie or when producing some of this movie? And is she going to allow Julia Garner to really focus on learning who she is as a person and portraying her in the correct way, as opposed to maybe lightening it up and making it, more I'm more playful, I'm more this, or making her something she's not. So I'm very interested in how this is going to turn out. But I think Julia Gardner is a phenomenal actress. She did great in the Fantastic Four movie and other movies that she's doing, and I'm excited to see her in Weapons, which is a movie going to be coming out next month, I believe. And so, very interested to see what's going to be happening with this movie going forward. But let me know what you guys think. Did you even know there's going to be a Madonna biopic, and do you like this casting for Madonna? And are you hoping that they continue with the development? Because in my research of this, there has been a delay, but it's supposed to be definitely moving forward according to Julia Gardner, that they are definitely moving forward with the project. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Moving on to our next movie news topic of the day. It looks like Eddie Murphy was being interviewed recently by Screen Rant, and he brought up the fact that he is currently working on Shrek 2, but also that he is going to be working on a Donkey spinoff movie that he's going to be working on starting in September of this year. So that's exciting. If you guys didn't know, we will be getting a Donkey spinoff movie, kind of how we're getting Puss in Boots spinoff movie. Now, my only issue with this is as far as Donkey is concerned, while I do love the Shrek franchise, it's very fun. The first two movies are phenomenal. Even the Puss in Boots movies are great. The most recent one was phenomenal as well. My issue with this is Donkey as a side character makes sense. He's the funny one to Shrek's straight man, but having him as a main character could be a bit much and a bit wild. Like, who is gonna be Donkey Straight Man in his movie? Are they gonna have Shrek be in the movie and have them go off, but have it more focused on Donkey's story, while kind of flipping on the first Shrek movie where it's a Shrek movie and Donkey's the second main character. Will Shrek be the second main character to Donkey so they can play off of that chemistry and that banter? But it's very curious what they're going to end up doing. But as far as a Donkey movie, it just might be a bit overwhelming as a presence for just Donkey being front and center and a bit annoying because he is a bit of an annoying character. So I'm very curious what they're going to end up doing with this character. Puss in Boots made a lot more sense because he's more adventurous. He's not as annoying as Donkey is. He's has his own little side quests and stuff like that. So I'm very curious what is going to end up happening with Donkey in this follow up movie, and it's going to be taking place after Shrek 5. So is it going to incorporate into the Shrek 5 story, or is it going to be prequel? So there's a lot of things going on with this, but we will be getting Shrek 5, and apparently, as Eddie Murphy says, in about 3 years from now. So we're looking at a 2028 release date for the Donkey movie. So let me know what you guys think. Are you excited to finally see a Donkey movie spinoff like Puss in Boots, or are you a little worried like me that this character is a bit annoying? So how are they going to end up doing that properly? And moving on to our last movie news topic of the day, it looks like we are going to be getting a sequel to the Bend It Like Beckham movie. If you haven't seen Bend It Like Beckham, it stars Keira Knightley and some other actresses that I cannot pronounce their name. My apologies, but it came out around 2002, and it's a very funny movie and very entertaining. Now I haven't seen this movie in years. I think it's a soccer movie, if I'm not mistaken. So, but this I believe was either the writer, the producer, this lady right here, and she recently was speaking with Deadline and let them know that she's currently working on a script for the second movie, and that she has been in talks with some of the actresses like Keira Knightley and all the other actresses in the movie, and they're all very interested in the project. They know that it's going to be coming down the pipeline, but of course everyone's going to want to see a script before they sign off and sign on for the development process of the movie. And I do think this is very exciting. It's an excuse to watch a classic comedy movie like Better Like Beckham and to see how things progress with these characters, to see where they are now. So I'm very interested in checking this movie out, and it'd be nice to see Keira Knightley return to a project. I don't think she's done something in a while. Let's see what her last project was, actually. Mm, if I spelled her name. Let's see. The last movie I saw Keira Knightley in was, I think, one with Will Smith, I think. Where she played, or was it? I forget who it was, but she played like a ghost or something. I think Edward Norton was in it, if I'm not mistaken. So as far as big projects for her, Silent Night, never heard of it. Offer Secure. See, like I haven't seen any of these movies that she's been. The last movie I know that she was in that I actually seen was Dead Man Tell No Tales. Oh my god. Well, she's done a lot of projects, but I guess she's just played like very second fiddle or very low brow to these movies. Huh. Yeah, sorry guys. I was just reading her IMDb here. If you guys want to take a look at that, seeing what projects that she's worked on, go ahead and take a look here. Here's Keira Knightley. Here's some of the projects that she's been working on. And I have not seen any of these. I don't know if you guys have had the pleasure. Let me know. But it does seem like the most successful movie she's been in recently is The Nutcracker and Pirates of the Caribbean, of course. But, excuse me, guys. But let me know what you guys think. I think it's going to be nice for her to return to an old project and kind of be the star out front. So I think this is great. So hopefully we can get the Bend 'Em Like Beckham sequel coming in the next year, maybe 2026, 2027. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you excited for a Bend 'Em Like Beckham 2 movie, or is you just not interested in this movie at all? Let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. Yeah, and that's a wrap for today's episode of the Truly Odd Podcast, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. And always, guys, remember, stay true, be odd.